Hey guys, Fenyks here, and as promised, here is my tutorial for how to make thumbnails. I know it's been ages, I've been really inactive. Just want to thank you guys for 100 subscribers. I've got a graphics pack, stuff like that. I'm doing a giveaway as well. That should be happening soon. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I've got this rig that I've made. I made a separate extruding tutorial for that. I've also got my Lightroom open. I'm going to be using the good old Mondays Lightroom. Definitely recommend you get it if you have some spare monies. Right, so what I do is I like to get some weapons and stuff ready. So yeah, I'll be back once I've done that. I am back and I'm going to be using Flash's bow rig and Sato, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm shit at pronunciations. It's from his new green sword pack, I think it's called. I'll put links to both of these in the description for you guys. First thing I like to do is I like to kind of just pose the dude. So actually no, before that, get a camera and change the focal length to 25. Now if we go into the camera by clicking on this, it kind of gives a depth of field effect thing. I don't know, it just looks real nice. And so I keep it at 25, sometimes I go lower, it depends. And so what I do now is I kind of pose the rig. So yeah, I kind of just have like the one sword arm thing coming up this way, and then maybe the one with the bow going the other way. Okay, so currently Flash's bow rig has decided to not cooperate with me, so I'll just delete that. And actually no, I'll just hide it and fix it up later. So yeah, I kind of just do something like this. I also like to kind of tilt him a little bit using this bit. If you want, you can also use the body selection bit. And nope, that's not working either for some reason. Oh well. So yeah, I kind of do something like this. And I kind of have him looking, I don't know, this way. Just whatever kind of looks cool, like whatever you think would work with the kind of thumbnail you're doing. You kind of want to think about the weapons as well, because it'd be a bit strange having like, I don't know, just don't go too crazy with the weapons for thumbnails. Okay, I think that looks okay. Yeah, and I also kind of just move the feet a little bit, and once I've moved the feet out a little bit, I like to kind of just bend him down a little so that his feet kind of move. I don't know, that sounded a bit strange, but oh well. You just want to make something that looks not too strange, not too, I don't know. If you're stuck for ideas for poses, Google Images is always a good place to go. So yeah, if you're stuck and you get artist block and stuff, which I get sometimes, Google Images is the place to go. I'm just gonna rotate the rig a little bit around here and move that there. Maybe bring it back a little bit more. Okay, so I've kind of got something like this going on. I mean, it doesn't look too great, but it'll do. This is just a tutorial. Like, if I was actually making a thumbnail, I'd think a lot more about this stuff. Yeah, so this looks kind of nice. Let's go with this. Once we've done that, we can go out of the camera, move to the side a little bit, and we want to go to MoGraph, Mode Text, and here's the fun part. What I like to do is I like to change the align to middle, and then drag it across a little bit. I like to keep the height, the depth at 25, and then the height around 50. It looks a little bit small, but like once you go into the perspective thing, it'll look a bit different. Let's just make the height 100. Now we can put our text. For the first bit, we're just going to do survival. I'll just make an SG thumbnail real quick. Yeah, you want to make sure it's in caps, because caps usually looks good. And next part is finding a font. I'm still looking for fonts. If you know good fonts for thumbnails, please tell me in the comments. Fonts are always a good thing to have. So yeah, you just want to find a decent font. Once I've done that, I'll be back, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to be using the font motion control. If you want to download that, just go to the font. And yeah, next thing I like to do is go to caps, start fillet cap, and end fillet cap. Change this to, I don't know, it depends on what you want to do. You can do lots and lots of different stuff, lots of different things look good. Set the steps up to 15 and the radius to 2, 15 and 2. And you can play around with those settings, like once you, I don't know, it's just about experimenting and stuff. 15 and 2 looks pretty good though. And now you can either have it engraved or not engraved. I'm gonna go with one step. I usually go with one step or concave or convex. Actually no, I don't do convex, I do engraved. I think I'll go with either concave or one step. I think I'll go with one step just because it looks a bit more like sharp. Right, and as I said, you can play around with these settings if you want. These are just the ones I go to for default usage. Next thing you want to do is you want to go back to object, and you kind of just want to drag it across. I can't really do that at the moment. Yeah, so you just want to drag it across and kind of bring it forward a little bit, move it up and down and stuff, and kind of just move it into a place where you think it would fit well. Right, so once you've done this, you might notice, Fenyks, why the fuck doesn't it look good? That's because you need to play around with the size a little bit more. So to change the overall size of the text, just play with the height. So click on this arrow and drag it up or down and kind of just experiment. Like usually 100 is okay, but I think 80 would look good for this, because what you've got to do now is you can go to the bend deformer thing and get a bend holding shift so that it links underneath it. That keeps happening. So, or you could just drag it underneath the motext. That also works. Fit it to the parent, and you want to play around with this thing. Now you'll notice, what the fuck? Why isn't my bend deformer working? That's because you have to change it. You have to rotate it around a little bit. You can either go this way or this way, and set it to 90 down here or 180. It doesn't really matter. Just so it's like that. And then you can do fit to parent, and now if you drag it across, there the red dot is, you can bend it around the player. You don't have to do that, you can do it another way. I'll probably do that for the second part of the text, so for the games bit, I'll do something different and I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, so once you're kind of happy with your bend, go back to the motext and play around with it again so that you can bring it back into the thing and kind of just shape it a little bit. So play around with where you think it would look best. Right, now if you want to, you can make a backup copy of the text by copying it. You should all know how to do that. Command C, Command V, Control C, Control V, I don't know what it is. But just copy and paste it and hide the backup if you want to. That's just in case you need to go back to that. You can save yourself a bit of time. And so go to the original layer and press C on your keyboard and you'll open up this thing. And if we keep going through this thing, can actually move the text around and stuff, but because we're in a bend deformer, sometimes it does look a little bit strange. But yeah, so I'm just gonna move the letters around a little bit so that it doesn't look like, I don't know, just so it looks a bit better. Alright, so I played around with the letters, it looks a bit better now. You can move them up and down if you want to, kinda just changes it up a little bit. And once you've done that, now we can add colors to it. If you want to use Minecraft textures, you can either get some from the internet just by typing out insert block here and then texture, and you should get it. You might have to scroll down a little bit until you get a decent one. I don't have any block textures at the moment on my computer just because I kind of cleaned it up and accidentally deleted them, but it'll be okay. I can show you how to do that later with a different texture if you wanted to use those Minecraft textures. Alright, so we're going to make a new material, and just by double clicking on this area down here, and just go to color and choose a nice color. I usually stick to dark grey purple things, kind of like a nice dark blue grey, so kind of around this area for the kind of grey color that I use. You can also, I don't know, just get some colors that you think would look good. Try to make sure that they actually kind of match the theme of your whatever it is you're making, just because otherwise it'd look a little bit strange. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to be using whites, blue, and a dark grey purple colour. Let's just make it a little bit more grey by going over here. That looks good. Alright, now we want to click on the letter and just drag it on there, or you can do it like that. Sometimes it doesn't work though, and you wanna select like the base color for the back of some of these. So say you want that one to be blue, blue. Don't make it too even, kind of make it a little bit odd, and then you can do that. Right, so we've got this. This looks okay, but we want to make it look a bit better. So once again, go onto the letter thing, or yeah, and select a different color. This time we're going to use white on the S. We're going to use blue, I lied. We're going to use blue. And go to the selection and set that to C1. And you can do the same with the Minecraft textures, but change the projection to frontal, or actually no, I think change it to frontal, cubic or flat or something, one of those. That makes it so that the texture is on that bit. Yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. For the other bit, you just drag it on, because if you don't do that, then it won't look right. It will look not good. And so yeah, just do that for each of the things. Right, that looks okay. I'm pretty happy with that. So now we can kind of hide this up a bit. If you wanted to, you can go to the text bit here and add a bulge deformer. And if we just fit that to the parent, yeah, you can see it kind of bulges it out a little bit. Or you can bring it in if you want. I think I'm gonna play around with it, so I'll be back once I've played around with it for a little bit. Okay, so I played around with it a little bit. I've got it set to -6. If we just disable it and enable it, you can see it kind of makes a difference. And yeah, I think it looks good. If you want to hide like the boxes and stuff, just do that for the things, and that hides the box. Alright, so we'll change the name of this to Survival. Fix up that S. And now we want to do the text for the games part. So to that, we'll do the same things as we did for the other one, except I'm going to do a few things a little bit different. So maybe different font and stuff, and I'll be back once I've kind of got it where it's going to be different. If you really wanted to, because you're lazy like me, you can use the original text from the games bit. If we go into it and delete the bend and set all this crap to 0, except for the size. Right, so we're just going to go into that and change this to games, except make it caps. And play around with the font again, and I'll be back once I've done that. You can use the same font, but sometimes it looks a bit boring. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Core Wax font. I use it quite a bit, and so you kind of just want to do the same things as before, except this time I don't think I'm going to add a bend deformer thing. Yeah, it's just an optional thing. And so yeah, I'll be back once I've got the games text bit ready. Right, so I've done that, and I'm just going to use these same colours as I used before on this, and I'll be back once I've done that again. Right, so I got this going on. This looks pretty nice at the moment. Now you can kind of just adjust the hand bit, or like the pose a little bit more, just so it's, I don't know, just play around with it. Right, so I kind of adjusted some stuff a little bit. You probably can't notice it. Congratulations if you can though. And so yeah, just kind of make a few small adjustments, because they always look good. One thing you can do to the text is add an atom array effect. This looks pretty nice. There's a tutorial that I learnt from how to do it. I'll link that in the description. So if you guys want to do that as well, you can do that. Alright, so I've done that. You can kind of see it added a atom effect thing. And so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and change the viewing angle, and you're pretty much ready to render it out at this point. So yeah, I'll render this out, and I guess I'll see you guys in Photoshop.